and my ability to put the group first and to maintain structure and directions in meetings, and to give people an introspective way to look at things that they might not necessarily agree with, but to give them that other view. Because being able to look at things from all different angles is what makes us be able to look at things objectively and achieve the greatest goals. Thank you.
While I may not possess experience directly linked with ASG, I have been involved in a wide range of leadership roles my entire life. Both Garrett and myself are currently employed by an event planning company as managers. There, we go to an event, set up everything, and then oversee and manage the event staff of anywhere between 15 and 35 people. Although they're all fully capable of working on their own and have their own unique jobs, it really helps to have someone there to, if nothing else, have your back just in case anything horrible goes wrong. I found that ASG is almost a carbon copy of this model. Each member in the Senate and Cabinet is in charge of their own work and in charge of getting their own jobs done. And so having an experienced and flexible set of managers as your president and vice president would add to an incredibly positive resource that the entire ASG would be able to pull from. Thank you.
I'm a natural leader. I grew up in Boy Scouts with tons of leadership experiences all the way through growing out. I became an Eagle Scout at the age of 14. For my Eagle project, I created a school supply pantry that ran years and years after, I was already done with it, and it's still running. Every job I've worked at, I've been given opportunities to go ahead and become management due to recognition of my leadership abilities. During the last presidential election, I was co-coordinator for an entire county for a presidential candidate. Then, I'm currently president of the Mad Scientist Club here on campus. I'm the vice president of the Vector Math Club. I also volunteer with public safety, and I'm involved with speech and debate, so I'm very used to the school as to what's going on in and around here. But as you can see, I definitely have natural leadership abilities, but that's not the only thing that's important. We also have a vision that none of the other candidates here have, and we have a plan, a feasible plan, to go ahead and make it a reality.
What qualifies me as ASG president? Well, my 8th grade year was the year that my leadership took off, serving on a student mentor program called Web Leaders, which helps students make the transition from elementary school to middle school successful and comfortable. Being the captain of my freshman wrestling team, which I continued to be throughout my high school career. Being a drum major, also known as a student conductor of a marching band during my 8th grade year in the Junior Rose Parade, and being elected by my peers, my junior and senior years of high school in the Rose Parade and Starlight Parade, and as well as being a youth mentor in my community church. Being part of this year's ASG as a senator, although my involvement hasn't been a lot with boards and higher education, my involvement with students and other leaders isn't new to me, as well as leading students. I love interacting with others, and that is what I offer as candidate of ASG president. Thank you.
All right, Michael's going to start us off with question 5. How will you increase communication between ASG and the student body?
Increasing communication. Well, as a broadcast student, I plan on utilizing and making the resources of the radio station more open to the campus and the activity groups that are here. That's first and foremost. Also want to develop, town hall type style meetings and communication type forums for issues that are of the student body to make it to the council so that we know what the overall dynamic is and what the concerns of this community really are, and then making those issues, as opposed to them just being what I want to stand up here and say I think the issues are. I want to hear from the dynamic, diverse group that we have here at the campus and in our community so that we can focus our energy in making this school better and making a more positive energy. So to improve that, it'll be utilizing things like our radio station, the student-run newspaper, and and just having more open communication and making people more aware of the activities that are here on campus. So that's kind of my ideas as a nutshell as to how we can improve communication on campus here.
An idea I spoke of earlier is the raffles, where we take people's information to be able to decide if they do want to take that information. But other things we'd like to do is to suggest weekly or bi-weekly emails for teachers to have, to represent communication, maybe 5 minutes at the beginning of class, of the things that are going to happen during the week. And we can't promise that the instructors are going to do that, but that's an idea we'd like to implement. Even being able to contact the students through mass email using the portal, because everybody's information is there and available. The other thing, we'd really like to increase the amount of feedback we are able to receive by making already available feedback stations more noticeable, by increasing the amount of feedback stations in the areas that have high traffic, and by providing emails and information, and by increasing awareness of who we are and how students can contact us when they want to see something changed or when they have an opinion to voice. Thank you.
At this point, it seems like each candidate has talked about communication in almost every single issue.